So as you come towards the end of the program, what happens is there was an email that went out regarding end of live classes, and the email was actually sent out, but maybe you missed it or maybe you did not understand this email. So that's the reason why we are actually meeting here. The point of this program completion is basically what happens after the end of live classes. So it's just literally spoon feeding you what is going to happen from now to everything that you need for job placement assistance. So once your core modules are done, once your live classes are done, you will receive an email from students at MediPharm Solutions saying end of live classes email. In that email, it will give you the details of next two steps or the next two completion steps. The first step is the certificate completion issuance, like how do we provide you the certificate once you complete the modules and everything. And the second is the job placement assistance. So if you go through that email, basically what it says is your classes are done in terms of Tuesdays and Thursdays. Your classes are done. We have completed all the core modules, and at that point in time you have to review all the modules, the core modules as well as the self-learning modules, so that you can complete your final assessment. Once your final assessment is done, like done in the sense you have completed it successfully. And again, by the way, there are a lot of questions coming out of this, and that's why we have I'm going through all those questions in this very short period of time. You can take this assessment any number of times. There is no set number of times that you can take it. You can take it any number of times. And once you complete the certification or the assessment, so you can go into the LMS and take a screenshot of your final assessment and email students at MediPharm Solutions. Sorry. You can email students at MediPharm Solutions with a screenshot of your final assessment that you have successfully completed. Normally, I believe you need to get 42 answers right out of 50, something like that. I believe 80% or so. And you take a screenshot of it, send it to students at MediPharm Solutions with your full legal name. Sorry, guys. With your full name, as it has to appear on your completion certificate. So you will be receiving a completion certificate, and you will also be receiving a credit certificate, number of modules you have done, just to kind of make anyone look at the certificate and understand what you have done in the course to get this certification. And this certificate doesn't expire. The new certificates all have, I believe, your names on it along with the credits given to you, and we'll email you this course completion certificate and the credit certificate. Most of you should have got it by now, so you are already aware of this, but I'm just going for the sake of other folks. And once you have this email with the completion certificate and the credit certificate, along with that you will also receive the job placement assistance guide, job placement assistance steps. So the job placement assistance, I mean, this I already covered, this I just narrated to you. And then the next three steps that you see here is what will be covered in your job placement assistance. So in job placement assistance, what happens is when you receive that email with your completion certificate, we will also email you the job placement assistance guide. So that guide has almost like bullet points of everything that you need to do. The first and foremost you need to do is to review all the video tutorials in the module that is titled as job placement assistance. It's in your LMS after the final assessment. So this is something that you need to go through each video and kind of understand how the interview process goes, how you have to prep for the interview, all those things. We kind of did a workshop, I believe, in February, and we kind of divided that workshop into different video tutorials for you to go through it. Some of it may be applicable to you, some of you it may not be applicable to you. It's pretty much common sense. So you got to go through that video tutorials to understand how to prep for an interview. Now, once as you keep doing that, you have to send us your resume, whatever resume you have, so that we can provide you a resume from MediPharm Solutions side. Now, I'll kind of also make a note here that your resume, whatever we prepare, it is our obligation to provide you a resume that you can use. Now, it will only have the work experience as a drug safety associate for the duration of the course. So let us say you joined the course in January and you completed in May or June. So then you can only put that duration. Whenever the date on which you got your certification is when you have to have your duration of the course. So if someone calls us back, the admin will verify that this person has actually completed the course and we actually got the certification from us, and this is the skills that were obtained during that. So the resume that MediPharm Solutions will provide is basically a template that consists of all the skills that you have acquired through the modules and doing the assignments. Now, the other point is, this is also a point at which some of you may completely differ to get a resume done. You can go through your own means of getting a resume done through consulting companies, or you want to do it by yourself, or whatever the scenario might be. This is a common point which may differ from each one of you. So normally what we do is we'll ask for a resume once you are done with your certification. We'll take that resume and we will provide you a templated PV resume, meaning it will have what it is supposed to have from MediPharm Solutions, and it is your responsibility to mix and match your content. Let us say you have some education before, or you have some work experience before. Most of you have education, most of you have work experience. So you have to append or add what we have given to your resume, and we try to do the best to kind of merge your resume with the templated resume, so that you may not have to do much work. The whole point of this resume preparation is, you that resume is your property and you have to approve it before you start applying for jobs. So you need to say, yes, I'm comfortable with this resume, and people will see this resume, and I will be applying for jobs through this resume. I'll be going through my interview with this resume, so I need to know everything in it. So it's better you prepare, even if it is like 3 pages, 4 pages, 5 pages, whatever is the content. We'll only provide you a guidance, a template. Like, you don't want to have 10 pages of a resume for a drug safety associate job, because some of you are PhDs, some of you are MDs, and you may have like zillion publications and articles and abstracts. Are all those things required? Maybe not. So that is the reason we'll just give you a templated resume. And mind, I want you to understand that when we prepare this, we make sure we don't give out the same resume to every one of you. Like, for example, on this call there are like 12 people. We don't give out the same content to 12 people. But if you look at the bullet points for each one of you, we will exactly follow the modules that we have covered. So we cannot really go too far from the modules, but at the same time, it's not going to be copy paste for each one of you. Is that making sense? So if I have to talk about adverse drug reactions in your resume, it will say that, okay, you know the classification of adverse drug reactions, you know the sources of ICSRs. So that is the bottom line. But how do we use the verbiage to narrate that will be different in different resumes. Because in the past, I have noticed that the admins were using the same resume sometimes, and that led to a lot of confusion. So we eradicated all those things by saying that we cannot do those copy paste anymore. So everyone, when you send a resume, we take time in doing this resume, and we want to give out a resume that you can finally use by maybe spending 1 2 hours on it and fixing something or adding something to that resume. And then if you want us to review your final resume, we will review it, and you have to do your job applications. So the resume part is your first step after you complete your job placement assistance modules, or along with that, we have to do your resume preparation. Whether you use it or not, it's up to you. Now, the second thing in your job placement assistance is job applications. So where do you apply? Which job portals you apply? What kind of jobs you apply? What are the search terms you need to use? What happens with with your LinkedIn profile, all those things, all those questions are answered in the video tutorials. So every question that you may have, I believe are covered in these video tutorials. I would say if you got a resume through MediPharm Solutions and you're using it, it becomes much easier for you to like kind of add the certificate to LinkedIn and add the experience part of doing the course with us, the program with us in LinkedIn, and using the same LinkedIn profile so that you can start applying using the same LinkedIn profile for your job applications. Now, again, here is also something that I wanted to tell you. If you are using any other resume other than what MediPharm Solutions has provided, now you have to figure out what you are going to do with your LinkedIn profile, because there are thousand different ways that you can start applying for jobs, not just LinkedIn and alone. So I just want you to tread cautiously there in how you are going to do your job applications through different sources by different kinds of resumes prepared. But I would say if you stick to the MediPharm Solutions resume, it becomes much easier because your LinkedIn will just you'll just add something to what you've already done before. Again, it's pretty much uh, your perspective in how you take about doing job applications. The other question I keep getting is, we provide the sites, we provide the broad search terms, we provide the search criteria, we do all those things. Not that some of you are not aware of it. It's not like we want you to do exactly what we are saying. It is just a guidance. I have heard from one or two students saying that, oh, we already know all these things. If you know already, that's fine. It's not you have to do something that you already know. Maybe you do something different. It's for people that who doesn't know where to apply. We want to start with people who may not be aware that LinkedIn will be used for job applications. And that is, you might really say, will that happen? Yes, we have some students who may not have known that. So everything that is provided to you in this job placement assistance modules, don't take it at face value. There are some things that are applicable to you. There are some things that is not applicable to you. Take what you want, leave the rest for other folks to pick and run. So this job applications is an individual thing, like your resume. Now, once all this resume preparation is done and you're applying with the resume that you are comfortable with, or you are, or I would say, confident about representing yourself, then once you do your job applications, when you get to an interview, let's say you have a hiring manager's interview. I'm not saying I'm not saying a recruiter's call. We cannot do any preparation for a recruiter's call because there is no subject related questions asked in a recruiter's call. So for a hiring manager's call, we will do interview prep. Now the interview prep, the process is very simple. Once you get an interview, give yourself some time. It's not time to MediPharm Solutions. It's time to yourself so that you can prepare properly. Give yourself some time. Email to students at MediPharm Solutions. That is the communication line. Yeah, so email students at MediPharm Solutions with the job description and the interview schedule. That will help us in guiding you because one, we may know that this company is hiring. Maybe there are students who already secured interviews, or maybe they are already placed in that company through MediPharm Solutions. So it gives us an idea like which company are you going for, and who are the people interviewing you, and what is the job description, most important. So our interview preparation is 15 to 20 minutes long. It's mostly one-on-one Zoom call. We do it most likely between 4 and 5 in the evening, so it's easier for us and for you to kind of go through it. So we do like maybe one or two interview preps. So what I normally do is I kind of do, if there are like 2 3 students who are doing interviews in the next 2 3 days, we kind of club them into an interview call. The reason why we do that is the questions that may come out of these interviews are pretty much on ICSRs, and we will be able to you will be able to get more value out of the call because the other students are also asking questions like how this call is going right now. So sometimes it's not possible because interviews happen very randomly, and they are all scheduled based on the company's timeline. So we are okay in doing one-on-one. I have done many one-on-one interview preps even on Saturdays, Sundays. When there is an interview on Monday, if I'm booked until Friday, I have done it on Saturday for 20 minutes. So again, when you come into that interview prep, it would be timed maybe 1 2 days before the interview, not on the day of interview. So it depends on your email communication with us, and every email that we get, like how students at MediPharm Solutions admin is resolving it, that's how we kind of go through it. So don't send an email on the morning of the interview saying I need an interview prep. That would not be that would not suffice the time given. So give yourself some time, help assist us in kind of doing a proper interview prep. Now in the interview prep, it's pretty much going to be our time with you. We talk more, you have to listen. If it is other way around, you're not learning. So again, I'm very strong about it because we take these interviews very serious. Not every day you get an interview. So now it is even more important for you to listen to what we are doing, what we are going to say, because when we look at the job description, when we look at the company, I am sure 9 out of 10 job interviews that we are doing right now, we already have an understanding of the market, because there are 40 students at any given point in time, 30 are being placed. So we know what, where, which company is interviewing for what positions, and we might have done this interview prep on that job description for many times in the past few years. So that is the reason why when I see a job description, when we see into a company with the same title, we kind of know what is happening. We kind of give it to you straightforward, like which modules you need to focus on, what modules you need to be thorough with, what questions to expect sometimes if we are very aware of it. Like it's almost like a question paper given out even before the exam is given. And that's also one of the reasons why our students are very successful in job interviews, because they kind of know what to expect before the interview. And of course, you guys have you already have mastered the modules, so the subject part is already there. So that's the interview prep that we do. Now we do this interview prep maybe 2 3 times for every student. Now you might ask, like, how long are you going to do it? We don't need to do it forever, because you don't want to be doing interviews forever. So normally I would say 2 to 3 interviews, or even 1 to 2 interviews is what you need to do in getting to the interview preps and getting it done. Now once the interview is done, once you get a job offer, if they need us to verify your resume, we know how to verify. There is an email that goes out to you saying congratulations on securing a job. Here is the details that you can give it to your employer for the resume that we prepared. They call us, we do the reference check, and myself or Satya or Shalini, whoever are there with MediPharm Solutions, we will be the reference for you. We will vouch for your skills, and we'll say this is what has happened. So that's pretty much how it works for the job placement assistance. And again, what you need to understand is you have to put in the efforts required after you complete the course. I always say this to students. I would say 50% of your work is done when you get certified, and the next 100%, not the next 50%, the next 100% also starts after that when we go into this. So this is the general process, and there are some questions regarding what is a timeline, what is how long and how much. We have seen a lot of things happen. I'm not sure if it is only this year, but I've been like in the thick of things with how folks are doing it. You got to have a lot of common sense in what you're doing. If you have done the course in 2024, you have to make sure you go through this process in 2024. That's 1 year of completing the course within 6 months, and completing the job placement assistance within 1 year. Because after that, you come back. I mean, I've heard conversations where students have come back after like 2 3 years, and it's not advisable for both sides to kind of going over this process again and again, because you may not even remember the subject to a point that you can do your interview well. So we have to have a strict I would say, guideline to just help you understand how it is important to stick to a timeline, because it's good for you, not for just MediPharm Solutions. So you need to complete the course and get your course certification done within 6 months from the date of enrollment, and you have 1 year of doing your job placement assistance from the date of enrollment. So that kind of puts you in a slot where you're able to understand how to do this thing. And I think that is, I mean, initially we thought like it should be 6 months for both. Then I thought, like, things will happen, life will take you away sometimes, and you might need little more time in understanding all these things. And again, what we are doing here is interview prep, and it's okay if you're late, but if you get a job through all the efforts that you're putting in, why not assist you for that 1 year? And by the end of the whole work that we have done, all you need is maybe 2 3 interviews max to get into this career line. So that's my thought process behind doing this. But again, use a lot of common sense in what you're doing. So that's the general process of what I can share with you. Now at this point in time, guys, because of time, let me know if you have any questions. If you have any questions, please let me know. Use the chat feature, because most of your questions might be relevant.